Thank you. We're back again. This little message there. I was talking about being in here where you're forming your message and your outline and you're crafting what it's going to say to match your audience. This doesn't mean you have to make your audience happy with everything you say. You may have to deliver some bad news or some terrible statistics about things that need to be done. So sometimes the audience needs to hear it. They don't really know they need to hear it, but they do, rather than something they want to hear, which is a whole different thing. So through the channel, now our channel here is, I'm giving this to you with some TV and some video. You will be looking at your audience of 3, at least for your major speeches, and you will be thinking about what would this audience, how would they benefit best from this particular speech. So you'll be thinking about that, crafting it so your particular audience that you choose. Incidentally, if you have more than 3, that's fine with me too. It's just not fewer if you would, and over 18 if possible. 2-year-olds can be a little distracting, I think, on the tape. Anyway, so you are attempting then through your recordings to send this to me. I'm part of your audience and I'm grading you, so that's another pressure on you, to the receiver of the message, which would be those people you have chosen and me. And at this point, I have to take your message and decode it into how I understand it, okay? So you put it in a message, I have to take it apart. And sometimes I was really not very good in physics. It's like he could be speaking Spanish and I would understand more. So it's totally like, oh my goodness. And in the meantime, that can be noise. We'll make a little scratchy thing here. There can be noise coming for your poor audience. If I'm not speaking loud enough, they can't hear you. Maybe you have a hearing impairment. Maybe the person has an accent and it's very hard to understand. Or they're just speaking over your head. It's like, I don't know what the heck you're talking about. So the receiver is having some noise and trouble decoding and understanding. So the receiver will send you feedback. Watch your audience members when you're speaking. Are they falling asleep? Are they, oh my gosh, I didn't know that? Are they really engaged with you? What's happening there non-verbally that can give you some clues? Or are they raising their hand? I don't get it. Can you start over on that? I have a question. Means, okay, I didn't plan for that. Okay, sometimes it can be disruptive if there's conflict. Okay, that is literal physical noise. Sometimes it's psychological noise. The person doesn't believe in what you're saying. They're giving you a fair shot. It's like, I will never agree to do what you say, ever, by the way you're presenting this. So in persuasion, they can just cut you off because they're not interested. We want to be the kind of open audience that will at least give people a listen so that we can have a civil discussion after that. I've been really trained by my students to learn more about guns and hunting. I'm not really a gun person, so I tend to be, but I've learned a lot about the value of hunting to the environment and about keeping the game populations down and the deer off my road all the time. So, I have learned as I've listened to these speeches, and I don't always agree with people, but at least we give them a listen and we look at their solid evidence, which is really important. So you might have the receiver getting some noise via the channels that we're using. Now here, you will get feedback verbally and non-verbally that tell you that you might have to restructure your message because it's just not making it, okay? You can restructure and go back around. In writing, everybody, this is revision. It's not good enough, I've been told that 100 times, I can say that. So it's revising your message. You'll notice this sometimes you've had an interpersonal squabble with somebody and you gotta try a different way because it's just not working. So, and within, this whole whiteboard here, what might be called the context or the environment of the communication setting. You know your communication is different in the classroom, at home with your parents or a significant other, with your children, with your child's teacher, with your doctor. In that medical setting, we usually feel terribly intimidated by that. So every context is different. It might be running into someone at the mall, just, hey, how's it going? And, have a little chatty. That's different from sitting down and saying, we really need to talk about this. How are you doing? Since John died, or how is it going for you? So there's different ways. And we'll talk, too, in the next part, how it's important for the sender and the audience to have a sense of ethics. So listening is really an important part of that. So when we come back for the third module, we will start to talk a bit more about the speaker in the setting. Thank you.